It's finally here, the cinematic equivalent of Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun. It's Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Seemingly endless action, no time to stop for anything, so many vistas, animals and robots, endless death. Rian Johnson is the Undertaker of Star Wars. He put it in a grave, or so the internet says. The film was simply delightful. Or was it? So Mike, you wrote that intro, and you wrote down, this film is delightful. Is that... I need to know, is that sarcasm?
I also wrote this film as the cinematic equivalent of Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun. I was thinking about that while I watched the film, and I chuckled to myself.
Close your eyes, Marge. And now you're ready for a night on the town.
Homer, you've got it set on whore.
Fascinating.
So if the bombs are self-propelled, which they would have to be, why don't they just like launch them from a distance of like 500 million miles?
Going really fast? Like a photon torpedo?
Lock and load!
Fire!
Yeah, I know, that makes sense.
There's a Star Trek Voyager episode about this, where the Maquis had a planet-destroying missile that was self-guided and somehow wound up in the Delta Quadrant. And B'Elanna Torres had to disarm it because it was out of control.
She programmed it, right?
Yeah.
It was the suicide bomb or whatever.
Yes. In the event that they got killed, it would head towards Cardassia and blow up Cardassia, but it had like an AI in it, and it was like, I'm gonna go blow something else up.
Its targeting scanners have been activated.
And it's like, it could take out a whole fucking planet. So the rebellion needs to develop some serious long-range weapons. But do you remember when Finn came out of the hospital room with the costume on, leaking fluid all over the floor?
That was funny, wasn't it?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
But they saved the animals.
Thank God.
No, you remember that was a bizarre moment too. She let one of those creatures go, and she's like, "That's the real victory." Because he's like, "Don't you remember that?" He's like, "It's really great that all these wild animals smashed up that casino. That's a great victory." And she goes, "No, letting this one go is a real victory." And that's when I thought we were being trolled. I'm like, this is just too dumb. This can't be real. I can't be seeing this. I'm gonna wake up suddenly and go, oh my gosh, today's the day I see The Last Jedi. I had a dream that it was really bad.
The online community of people talking about Star Wars, it's just like a race to see who can either hate the movies the most or who can be the most contrarian. It's like the contrarian Olympics.
And everyone wins a gold medal.
Everybody wins.
Well, you talked about the original trilogy, and it's like people responded to those movies with such fandom and excitement because they liked the movies, and now that's inverted. Now they're responding to
more about the brand.
The brand, and before the movie comes out, like those Star Wars like fan conventions. What are they called? Disney Expo.
Star Wars Celebration.
The Star Wars Celebration, where they're like, here's the trailer, and it's like an auditorium of like 50,000 people, and they're all like cheering, and you know they have people up there, and it's like a political rally, and you know Kathleen Kennedy's like pounding her fists on a podium, and you know everyone's like holding up signs, so you have this weird flock mentality, sheep mentality of people that are just like blind fans to this. It's almost like a cult now. And then the movie comes out and everybody hates it. And then they say, here's another one for you, and everyone fills up that auditorium again and starts like cheering. It's like grown-ups acting like children. Like children cheer for movie trailers. Children cheer.
Yeah.
I cried the whole time. Fascinating.
And it's strange. I think to me the strangest part is people just like screaming their heads off. It's like Beatlemania. Make another Beatles reference. It's like the girls screaming on the Ed Sullivan Show for something, except it's grown men and women.
Men, mostly.
Mostly men, wearing like Porg costumes. They're in their 40s, and they're like pulling their hair out and screaming, and it's almost like conditioned, like a political rally. That's kind of what I mean. Where it's like our political candidate can do no wrong. They're perfect in every way. Look at our political candidate. You know, it's even those behind-the-scenes things on like The Force Awakens or the Rogue One Blu-ray. Have you ever watched any of those?
No.
They're very calculated.
They're so glossy, and everybody got along great on set, and this is such a beautiful experience, and our political candidate can do no wrong.
Contrast that with the Phantom Menace behind the scenes.
Yes. Yes.
If I forget to say action or cut, just step in and say action and cut. I manage action and cut and faster and more intense. And then mostly I sit there looking miserable and quiet.
Fascinating.
We have celebrated the commonality of women's
She looks like Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker.
Been through the empty
I was gonna say it's Louis Anderson.
and are beginning to move into a new phase. We have celebrated that new phase with a croning ritual.
Every day we are born. Every
Why are you filming Grandma? You know she's got dementia.
Many women write verse, essays, poetry, or words of wisdom, like Lois.
I'd like to talk to you about the next Star Wars spin-off, though.
Oh, Star Wars, a crone story? You get Jabba the Hutt's mother, Mon Mothma.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot of old ladies in Star Wars.
Leia.
I would say Aunt Beru, but she got burnt up.
Her corpse is there.
She's there in spirit.
She got Emperor's Jedi spirit.
Okay.
Who does she look like?
Yeah, she looks like a man. Like which man? I mean, the face.
Brian Denny.
Goodbye.
Looks like Babe Ruth.
As if they were to proclaim our age. To use the hard-won will share an unusual form.
Please, Spock, do me a favor. And don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.
And then the real authoritarian on the subject is Kathleen Kennedy at the end.
Oh yeah.
She's in the middle of a rainstorm and she's explaining to us all about croning.
Solo was the croning achievement of her career. Oh man. The Crone Wars.
Damn it.
Oh! Begun the Crone Wars has. He's got an army of crones.
Paul McCartney's in it?
No.
Oh, was that Obi-Wan Kenobi?
That's a bad Obi-Wan.
So we have the planet where Luke is hiding and Kathleen Kennedy, both in celebration of age.
Star Wars Celebration of Age.
$185 a ticket for a weekend pass.
We get to pay to go to get a Kathleen Kennedy's croning ceremony.
Star Trek: The Fast and the Furious is the second film in the newly rebooted franchise by JJ Abrams. The movie is essentially the same film as the first one. Kirk learns to be a leader, Spock gets emotional, Uhura and Spock have a lover's quarrel, and some guy wants revenge. Things also blow up, but this time things are more blow-up-y.
Fascinating.
In these movies, if the entire legacy or canon of Star Trek didn't exist, and just these two movies existed, Kirk would hate Spock, and Uhura would have no reason to fall in love with Spock. Yeah. Spock is a big asshole in this movie, and Kirk is a hothead college jock guy who runs around screaming, and everyone's yelling, and those two would not be best friends. There's no reason for them to... Kirk dying in the thing, Spock would just go, okay. but instead he's crying and he's screaming like.
My two biggest thoughts through this movie were, why do Spock and Kirk like each other? And why has Kirk not been kicked out of Starfleet yet?
So, Jay, after talking about Star Trek, The Fast and the Furious for over 2 hours now, would you recommend this film?
No. If all you want to see, if you want to just sit in a comfy, air-conditioned movie theater and see some action, maybe, because it does look nice. It's a good-looking movie, and the action is well executed. But if you want anything beyond that, then absolutely not.
Yeah. I would probably say go see it.
After all that, huh?
It's really difficult for me because it's a thing that exists. You know, old Star Trek still exists, and it's like, yes, it's not Star Trek. It's not a plot about some moral decision or ethics or something really detailed politically. With Star Trek universe, it's a really dumb action movie.
Really dumb.
But you get to see the Enterprise blow up and crash and fall into the sky and things blow up. It's a fun ride. Yes, studio? Yes, I'll take that check now. Sir, would you recommend this film?
Well, I'd just like to say, you know, while I have everybody's attention and I have an audience, I just want to say that 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. If you want to learn more, go to 911preservethetruth/911wasanincidejob.org or like me on Facebook. Preserve the truth! Ow!
Do you think his whole reason for sitting here and talking about Star Trek with us was just an excuse to give his website address?
I think so.
Fascinating.
It's now time for a third Star Trek film, this time directed by Justin Lin of the Fast and Furious films. The crew of the Enterprise is back. A bad guy wants revenge. A doomsday device is there. Mr. Scott wrote the script, and there is no dog in the film.
What? Is that a reference to anything?
It's not a reference to anything.
So, Mike, what did you think of The Beyond, directed by Lucio Fulci?
What does that mean?
Mike, what did you think of From Beyond, directed by Stuart Gordon?
A Place Beyond the Pines?
Mike, what did you think of Beyond the Valley of the Dolls?
Starring Roger Ebert.
Starring Roger Ebert.
he didn't star in that film, he wrote it. Did you ever see Place Beyond the Pines?
I did not. I heard it was good.
Very good.
But not in this one.
Nope. No, Spock is more Spockish than ever in this one. He gets emotional, but Spock also got emotional in TOS.
Sure.
Spock's emotions overpower him, but only briefly.
Yeah.
Unless he has sniffed magical flowers on a hippie love planet.
This Star Trek shit sounds stupid.
And Kirk has to beat him with a pipe in order to bring him back.
All right, you mutinous, disloyal, computerized half-breed. We'll see about you deserting my ship.
Never mind, the Star Trek shit sounds great.
Yeah. That's a real episode. I gotta beat him in the head with this pipe.
Fascinating.
Kind of looks like Jerry Seinfeld with Michael Bay's face. Why are you playing for?
Get this motherfucker out of here.
Did they just censor their own movie?
I think so, yeah.
That's a different guy.
He's got like a cardboard. Look at the cardboard.
Are you sure? Gino has about 20 guys with him.
10 for you, 10 for me.
Yeah!
Yeah, he's drunk.
He's talking like he has hemorrhoids or something.
Ow, my ass.
I'm gonna go back to autoerotic asphyxiation.
That's great.
How did they react before it happened?
Fascinating.
Damn, didn't I tell you this was a killer bust? And it's all mine. What's your problem, Normad? You almost got Huck killed. So what? You know, if that guy dies, we're doing the whole world a favor. You just made a big mistake. Not a problem.
What?
Whoa.
Oh my God.
What the fuck just happened?
Ran out of film. Is this him?
Yeah. Oh no. Now this is video.
I'll take it.
So then the second girl that is kidnapped is the daughter of this woman that he's interested in, who happens to also be an ex-cop, or is she still a cop?
She's still a cop.
Okay.
Remember that when we first see her, they meet in the mechanic shop that changes tires on police cars, and there's constant and sounds going on in the background, and they're shouting at each other.
How did Chino get out of prison?
What?
How did Chino get out of prison?
Out the front door like everybody else. What's your point, Miles?
Why are you guys yelling?
The parole board
Why are you
said he's
yell acting?
rehabilitated.
Or maybe they've just spent like too much time in the theater where they project.
Just once.
What?
Bend the law.
What?
You have like premonition powers.
Was that almost a spit take? That would have been amazing.
Fascinating.
You better tell her what she wants, man.
Talk, you piece of crap. Talk to me!
Or I'll chop this dirt.
Oh my God, hit him with that.
It doesn't get more intimidating the more times you do it.
Future Force stars 60% David Carradine, 40% alcohol. And a cast of lovable biker cops and a robot Power Glove sleeve. Which kind of looks like he has a prosthetic, like robotic arm, but it's a glove he could take on and off that has magical powers that he only uses sporadically for no reason.
Probably 3 times in the movie.
A couple times,
Something like that. He did a marvelous job acting like a washed-up, drunken police officer.
And he's only 35, right?
When it was shot.
I wouldn't know.
This is at his most washed out.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the infomercial that he did, where he was?
I need to now.
He was trying to sell a rubber hose. Did you not hear about this? I'm not. Okay, look it up on YouTube.
Is it hard to sell a rubber hose?
It's David Carradine.
Was he examining like how you can? It's really flexible.
This is back is like an infomercial, like kind of days where people were kind of coming up with these like exercise gimmicks, like little things. So whatever. Shake weight, stuff like that. And it's infomercial with him in his backyard, and he's trying to sell this hose that you can do Tai Chi with, but he didn't have the actual hose built, so he used a stand-in that was just a rubber garden hose. And look it up, it's on YouTube. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see. And he's like, you can do all these things with it. And his dog is sitting in the background of the shot, and at one point his dog is so ashamed it gets up and it walks out of the shot.
You could stand here and do it like this, right?
The world never got to see a David Carradine, Cameron Mitchell team up.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That would have been drunken fury. Booze and bullets.
Fascinating.
Stomping for some more. That's when my eyes catch you and my heart begins to sing. Oh, pretty baby, man, can you swing? My feet start to move.
He looks like he's scared. Like he's someone off camera with a gun to his head.
'Cause everybody's doing the shimmy and the slide. Oh, you're on fire when I grab you by the hand.
Clueless people need to make more vanity projects.
He's like terrified.
I love his mic technique. Like, going out of range of the mic constantly.
I've been fine. Have you been, Vinny?
Fantastic. I'm good, Vinny. I'm dating my father.
So I got a physician joke for you. This very attractive young lady goes to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor says, hey, you got to disrobe. She says, I'm very shy. Can we turn the lights off? He says, okay. He turns the lights off. She takes her clothes off and she says, doctor, where should I put them? He says, right over here on top of mine.
Wow.
That's good. What a professional.
I love Philly jokes.
This guy with a duck on his head, he goes to the doctor. The doctor says, can I help you? The duck says, yeah, get this guy off my ass.
That one was good too. You always have a good jokes.
You just appreciate it.
I prepare your favorite dish.
What about the part when they go to her parents' house to get her clothes?
Oh, yeah. And he's older than
her dad.
Her dad.
She's always had a bad attitude, Bill.
Wait a minute. Why don't you both calm down and try to work out your problem?
Who are you? Another drug-contaminated devil worshiper from Hollywood?
I'm a friend of Cindy's, and that ought to be good enough for you. I don't do drugs or worship the devil.
This is really...
A most fascinating thing happened.
Can I talk about the elephant in the room?
What is the elephant in the room? Is it The Last Jedi?
That none of this
matters?
That this is not my fault.
No, any amount of hate that Star Wars has ever gotten in the last 10 years is all specifically your fault, Mike.
Well, okay. Mr. Plinkett had said JJ Abrams would be great at directing Star Wars films. Way back in the day. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I
Rich?
do remember that,
Okay.
yes.
You see, in my opinion, where the prequels utterly failed, Star Trek excelled. Star Trek is really engaging. It's fun, adventurous, fast-paced. Heroes are heroes, and villains are villains. And at the very least, you know what's happening. It's everything we did not get in the prequels. At no point were we completely bored and confused.
I can't lock on your signal. You're moving too fast. I can do that. I can do that. Take the gun.
The black hole's expanding. We won't reach minimum safe distance if we don't leave immediately.
Hold on. Compensating gravitational pull.
Your Highness, with your permission, we're heading for a remote planet called Tatooine. It's in a system far beyond the reach of the train.
In fact, JJ Abrams should have directed the prequels, and George Lucas should have directed people to their seats in the theater.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
No, because, I mean, there's so much to talk about, and we're going to go on tangents. I just wanted to wrap up my this is not my fault thing, because people have been... First of all, the idea that Mr. Plinkett saying J.J. Abrams would make a great director for Star Wars movies had absolutely no impact on J.J. Abrams being chose to direct The Force Awakens, okay? Zero.
You don't know that.
I guess I don't. But I never said he should write it with the guy who wrote Batman versus Superman. Couldn't they have grabbed literally anyone? He's trying to tell her that he's gay. So we have our first gay Star Wars character, Jay.
We have that in this movie, though.
There is...
Two out-of-focus females in the background kiss. So progressive. Way to go, Disney.
There was that old lady.
It was that
with
old
the
lady,
pointy
the bird
nose.
lady.
Yeah, the bird lady. She I guess was a lesbian. So how progressive? Wasn't a main character. They wrote off Poe as not being gay because he did that thing where he's like, "Hey, Kerry Russell." He's like, "Ah," and then she goes,
Did he do that?
"Yes."
Yeah.
Were your eyes closed during the film? At the end,
I had to take a mental break.
She's still wearing her stupid helmet because it's not actually Kerry Russell. She's in one scene where her eyes. I think her and JJ Abrams had a joke. Like they said,
"We're gonna tell people you're in the movie."
No. How little can you be in this movie, and how much money from the back end can you make? And it's like a private joke. They
see your eyes for 5 seconds. Yeah.
And the rest of the time, it's just and she did her voiceover in like the sound booth for like an afternoon. So she was on camera, her eyes for 10 seconds, and then she was in the sound studio for half a day, right? And
now she's gonna make $10 million.
Yes, at least a couple million. And she had a body double, like in her Zori Bliss costume. She never took her helmet off.
Yeah.
But at the end, she's you don't even see her face. And Poe is like, huh? He's doing like a, how about you and I? Like
he started doing this, which I thought was weird for Star Wars.
It was implied that they might have been a thing way back when. And then she goes, and he goes, and then he walks out of frame. That was got a case of the not gays.
Yeah. Just make Poe and Finn gay. Make them super gay. Why the fuck not? That's how they come across in this movie. Just do it. There was some interview with JJ Abrams where he was like doing that like wishy-washy. Like I mean, maybe they could be. We're Disney. We're progressive, except not really. We just want to give the illusion. They're so phony.
Is this a new term? Passive progressive? It's like a play on passive aggressive. Because remember, what's it? Josh Gad's like minor character.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, he's a supporting character. He's gay. You see him dancing with a guy in one shot. Look how progressive we are.
We wouldn't do it with the main character. Can you imagine Finn and Poe like kissing? Like I mean, like I wouldn't care. A majority of people wouldn't care, but it would be a thing.
If they did that, then Star Wars fans would complain about it on the internet.
Some Star Wars fans.
And they don't complain about anything on the internet now.
No, half of them would complain, half of them would champion it. Because we're in like split down the middle politics
everything,
with Star Wars.
Fascinating.
I quit Star Wars. I'm done. I'm never talking about Star Wars again. Bye.
We'll see when we talk about The Mandalorian.
We'll see when we talk about the Picard series. And Ghostbusters 2020 and everything else that's coming out that just continues to ruin our lives. We've never addressed our George Lucas bust.
Oh, is that who that is? I thought it was Bob Vila.
Goodbye, everybody!
I'm on. I can't do this anymore. There's my microphone. Hey, it's over though, you know. We don't have to talk about Star Wars movies for at least a year or 2 or 3. Power.
That's stupid, but we are talking about Star Wars.
Everybody's doing like Shirley and the Shine. Oh, you're on fire when I grab you by To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied, or